Welcome. This is the open door session of the Dirty Dojo. I'm Sifu Z, and we will be starting this session in just a few moments. So stay tuned. Get your sandbag, grab your water. Let's get ready to kung fu. By the way, this is what we call the onboarding process, and we will begin in 5 minutes. This is a drinking show. Justin, aloha. We start in just a few minutes. Get your sandbag ready. Dust off the mook jung. Just kidding. Adjust your sparring partner. I think we need to come down just yeah, that's about right. You can adjust this ball any height you like. Just know that wherever this ball is the point that you're focusing on for the exercise. This whole meridian. Eh? This- Aloha, Sifu, Chad.
Aloha.
We we start in 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes. So if you have something you need to do in the next 2 minutes, this is the time to do it.
It has been done already.
And
I already got my coffee from the coffee
oh,
shop.
wonderful! I made my first cold brew
Ooh.
this morning. I've never done a cold brew before, but I think cold brew is just a fancy name for like cowboy coffee, really, because but it's an even lazier version because you don't even boil the water. You just kind of let it sit overnight and then make a mess. For some reason, well, one thing I learned is when you do that cold brew, the coffee grinds become this like floating rock like thing, and when you go to pour it out, all the grinds will fall off all over the place. Quite a lesson, especially first thing in the morning before you've even had your coffee. So, all right, we got about a minute, and I'm just trying to think of anything that I might need to adjust. I'm actually kind of just getting up. Usually, I'm up at about 4, 5 o'clock at the latest, and but lately I've been working on all the websites, and boy, do I hate my web host. Hate's a strong word. Maybe I shouldn't use that. Dislike my web hosting. If anybody out there knows of like really good, dependable, sensible, logical, reasonable hosting, and let me know. I'm not going to tell you what I'm using because I don't even want to mention the word. Uh, like, oh man, it's so infuriating. If I wasn't so used to the infuriation of it, is that a word?
It
Infuriation?
can.
Yeah. If I weren't so used to being infuriated by it, then it would be more difficult. But see, I was raised and weaned on Windows 95 back in 1994. And anyone that's experienced, or maybe they've got a great grandfather that has experienced that and they've heard the stories. It's, of course, now Microsoft is responsible for not millions but billions of dollars of lost productivity. In fact, perhaps even trillions of dollars of lost productivity in the workplace due to their just absurd stuff, right? Of course, it's a lot better than it was, I guess. Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even use that stuff. But boy, oh boy, when you click on something that says that it does something, but then it doesn't do that thing, patently doesn't do that thing. Like it just simply has nothing to do with that button to do that thing, and then and what and they disallow pure code. So unless you get like a pro thing, and then you can do pure code. But even then, there's other hoops that they insist that you jump through just to change one element, like on an image. Like, oh, I just that's not quite right. I need to change this little thing. Wow. Or this little button, or just the most basic stuff that you would do in like HTML 1, 2, and 3. Just basic stuff that they've just fouled up so horribly, so horribly. But you have to stick with it. So if anybody knows of a better hosting program, please let us know down in the comments below. Because I don't know if one exists. I'm using one of the top and longest standing hosts, on the planet, but that doesn't seem to be. So anyway, we're nice at 3 minutes late into our training. Not late. We're Hawaiian. This is perfectly on style.
Yeah.
Hawaiian
We get
style.
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
time
style.
paired
Yeah,
with mountain time.
uh, precisely.
Dude,
Not
I
only that, I've stalled long enough in order to remember what I wanted to show you guys today. So I got the sandbag here. Now there might be reasons why people might not do sandbag. They're like, I can't carry the sandbag around. There's humans. We've got all kinds of excuses.
yeah, we sure do.
And because we're so good at validating our excuses. And so one of my favorite excuses are, oh, I can't do this because of somebody else. That's my favorite.
Wait, what was that again?
There's an old, I can't do X, Y, or Z because of someone else.
Because of someone else, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, because like, oh, I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to work on something, or I'm trying, whatever it might be. You, there's you, there's an old Yiddish saying. There's nothing worse than not having someone else to blame. Right? Yes, yes. So, but I've always felt that Wing Chun is sort of like a superpower. and kind of creates a Superman of types, right?
Yeah.
And the Superman that I speak, and so that we don't really follow the common laws, although I think it's very important to understand the common laws of man, of social behavior, right? And understand that the etiquette there, yes, and understand people's psychology, the common man's psychology.
Mhm.
But I guess Nietzsche refers to the Superman, right? The Uberman. And I've always felt that Wing Chun sort of puts us on that level so we don't have to necessarily follow the axioms, the very common modern axioms,
Yeah.
such as there's nothing worse than having someone else to blame, especially when we are indeed just common men. We are common people. We're no better or worse than other people, although we have potential and we can use that potential. I like to think of it that way. Right. And so when I find myself being that common man, that common person, um, oh, it's usually, man, oh man, that somebody somehow got in your head. Maybe it's something they said, maybe it's something they did, maybe there's something they're doing, right?
Mm.
Well, as a Superman, as a Wing Chun Uberman, that should not. Are you serious? That is going to bother you, oh, Kung Fu master, my ass. You, there's a stupid person. Apparently to you they're stupid and ignorant and all that, and they're actually bothering you and stopping you from doing what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
I think even a common man, once you say it, you're like, oh shit, that's not, no. um and again, as long as you understand that, well, there's nothing worse than not having someone else to blame. So in Wing Chun, one of the things is making noise, hitting the mukjang, right? Hitting the mukjang, hitting the sand. I mean, you just hit a sandbag against the wall in a house, the whole house,
Yeah. The whole
you know. Yeah. Same thing. Oh, and with the mukjang, the whole house is
Dude, that
gonna just
reminded me
right.
day when I was first starting to train with you back in Hawaii. In my room, I had a 4x4 beam in the center of my room, and I was in the basement level of the house, and I would
I
I
remember that. Yeah.
and I'd be like, pom, 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 pom. And then my grandma would be like, John, stop hitting the house.
Stop hitting the house.
I
That's funny.
was like, I'm sorry,
Well,
after.
well, now you're bringing up sandbag stories, which we better get at. But this is all tied in. This is all tied in. When I was doing sandbag living on the North Shore, I would go around with a bolt full of pockets and a socket wrench, and I would go around all the different bus stops all over the island, and I would put two bolts, just like you see here, and I put them all over the island where the bus stops were. And then I'd have my sandbag and I would practice my sandbag. Now I had the sandbag facing the other side of the road. So all over the island, when people drove by and saw me waiting for a bus, they'd see me punching a telephone pole. Uh,
The early
Never got
days of
messed ever.
yeah, dude, the early days of
There-
being crazy, man. Like, I honestly kind of miss those days because, like, back then, like, we were training kind of insanely. I was definitely training kind of insanely because, I was,
Mhm.
as a lifeguard, I had 2 1-hour breaks during the day, and then I had class after work. So on my 1-hour breaks, I'd be like, "Ugh," I'd just be like training, and then after work, I would then go and train with everybody. I kind of miss
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I do too. And kind of, hope maybe to bring it back one of these days, even if I have to go back to Hawaii or something, or move somewhere else to do it. I would like to, sort of have that kind of vibe going again, especially with everything that I know now. You know, what implement group of people, what I know now would be just off the hook. So now let me get back to this, so this way we can get to our sand training.
Okay.
I'm in a situation where I can't disturb the fellow housemates and stuff, and but there are times when I can get away with it. Like if they're working on the house, then I take advantage. I've been called an opportunist, and in many ways, that's a compliment. I know it wasn't meant as one, but it is a compliment, I guess. I do. I look for somebody's making noise out there. They're not going to mind my doing the Wuk Chun. And then if somebody complains about it, I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Good for
Oh, yeah. I'm like the woman that I don't know what I'm doing here, but I know. But so anyway, um, yeah, you take advantage of the time when you can. All right. Now, let's just a little reminder. We shouldn't be hitting this very hard, not like we used to. Yeah, even though we knew back then that we shouldn't, we still did
Yeah, we did.
hit it hard, right?
It
Yeah. I
started
mean,
off and
I've,
hard.
you can attest that I have taught from day one that you should not hit this hard, right?
Yes, yes, and that's what I've also taught everybody that
Yeah.
I've ended up having to teach. But in the end, they start soft, and then they end up just like having bloody knuckles at the end.
Oh yeah, you can tell that they're not listening to you,
Yeah,
right?
dude. Oh,
So,
what was
um,
one of the girls I trained? I was like, yeah, Whitney, you don't have to hit it that hard. Like it's supposed to be pretty soft.
uh,
Like, okay, it's like cement wall, and she's just like, paw, 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 paw. Blood stain
yeah,
and back.
you're not supposed to hit this hard. It most likely will damage your
Yeah,
hands, unless you're like a construction worker or something like that. Then you probably don't even need to do sandbag training at that point, right? Well, I'm just sort of kidding, because sandbag training has a lot of different little elements to it, shall we say, for a lack of a better word. There's a lot of things going on there. Density, is a huge thing. Anyway, so here's a little something that I've come up with. I'm going to share with you guys, and that is my first day of Wing Chun with Sifu, Grandmaster Chris Chan. I had a big old mohawk. I was a punk rocker in San Francisco. First day, I come walking in, and I'm a dumb guy because his student the previous day beat my ass, and I, for some reason, thought that just escaped me. That the dots were not connected. That this little Chinese guy out on Van Ness and Market would have anything against moi with my mohawk. I had a big mohawk. Come on, right? Uh, so he asked Sean, the guy that invited me to come and see the class. He says, "Sean, is this the guy?" And and he comes up. He goes, "Ah, you're a tough guy, huh? You're a tough guy." I might have even been packing, right? Tough guy, huh? You're a tough guy. You ready? You ready? And he goes, boom, with a finger, with a finger. Honestly, I don't know if it was a finger. That's all I saw, Had no idea what it actually was. It's just all I saw was a finger. Because you ready, right? So let's just be clear. I don't actually know if it was a finger. In the story, it's just a finger because that's all I saw. Okay. He says, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be embarrassing. Me beating up a little old Chinese guy in front of all his students. My goodness, let's get boom, boom. It's my story, so I'm telling it with one finger. Boom. Could have been one finger. I don't know. I flew 15 feet through the air, hit the wall behind me, broke the wall behind me, fell on my ass. And I'm pretty sure I was like, my voice had that about to cry sort of thing. Like, call an ambulance. Somebody just shot me, because I thought somebody walked in. It's Van Ness Market, man. It's the worst, one of the worst, right? The end of the Tenderloin, I mean, it's just the worst place in San Francisco. I figured before I had a chance to beat this Chinese guy's ass, somebody walked in and shot me, right? Now, I immediately knew that I had to man up, and I knew that somebody did not shoot me because everyone was laughing. And usually, if you get shot or somebody gets shot, everybody's not laughing, right? And so everybody's laughing. And I'm like feeling for blood or something. I'm like, anyway,
Oh!
that got me to thinking. That got me to thinking, right? Well, check this out, right? You go, it's not really going to disturb anybody,
No, it's not.
especially if it's on a solid frame, right? Well, well, you know how dangerous this is? This, let alone just typing like that, danger of the words that you type. But you imagine this applied to not just the eye, but even just little tiny parts. Boom,
Dude, you're
boom. Have you ever been poked?
yeah,
Have you?
it's actually kind of sore.
Ah, oh yeah. Just go ahead and take something like this and poke it in different parts of your body. You'll see exactly what I mean. But get your finger strong enough to do it because it's so casual, right? Now here's something. You make it so you can, and this is the goal here. This is the Uberman goal. How to get it so maybe this finger, maybe this finger, maybe this finger. You see? Maybe the thumb even, right? Thumb. Thumb might get you in trouble though.
Yeah.
Thumb's very powerful.
Mm.
So just do the be light on the thumb. But on the other fingers, especially the pinky, right? You want to go hard? You want to go hard? You can't handle hard. Use your pinky. Boom. Boom. Let's see how hard you go then, macho man, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is nutty. You know what? I realized what the title of this stream is going to be. Pinky training. And we're going to have to use pink lettering, for the title, right? for the thumbnail. Pinky training. There you go. Pinky training. Pinky training. So here's what we're going to do. Special pinky training session. 24, 25, 30. We've got 6 minutes. Since we're starting this, we're going to do half the time. We're going to do, instead of 10 minutes of sandbag, we're going to do 5 minutes of sandbag. Pinky training. Well, we'll use all fingers.
All fingers, yeah.
Right? All fingers. No punching. Yeah, just so, right? And telling you, man, but you get those strong fingers, and you point at somebody, maybe do one of those, hey, you, hey, I'm telling you, it was on the 5th yard. That ball was at the 5 yard line. Do you hear
Yeah,
me?
it's pretty sore because
Yeah.
it's like it's essentially training you to bring like a lot of weight to one point to a very small amount of surface area. You know? Yeah.
Well, you bring up a very good point. When you're doing this, one of the things that make it that lethal is getting that that grounding, or what's called kimi ma, and getting that grounding, and then bringing that grounding to that one point.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So here we go. Let's start. And we can, we're just doing pinky training, so we can talk and yum chow all we like right here. If anybody out there hanging out, be sure to join us in the chat. This is all in respect to martial art style training. We have a second session. Our second session after this is a closed door session that we do over on patreon.com/Sifu. So if you're interested in training in Wing Chun specific, join us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Sifu. Now at Sifuz.com, we also have not just me over there, but at Sifuz.com, we have now a collective. So by this fall, we'll have Sifu Chad's, how shall we say, complete profile of Sifu Chad's work as an artist, a multi-discipline artist. That's mostly what this collective is about, is multi-discipline artists. So you'll be able to check out, you can check out a sampling of my work, of Sifu Chad's work, and also of Justin's work as well. So that all should be in place for you over at Sifuz.com by this fall. Definitely go check out what we've done over at Sifuz.com. That site is growing slowly but surely, especially after I get a half decent host.
It's actually kind of crazy.
These platforms have gotten so nutty that they put a paywall behind. Oh, would you like to add a title?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah,
Or literally,
you want? Would you like to add a description? Just buy this plugin. Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? And we're not talking free. I've bought the professional plan of this hosting. You can't buy a more expensive plan than what I bought. It's just goofy. They really should be put in jail for extortion.
or price gouging. Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Well, I wouldn't even mind paying the price if they would just be a decent system to work with, a decent platform. But my God, it's just mind-boggling that a lot of the internet functions on this platform. It's it's nuts. Yeah, I can already tell that some points it's a little too much. So now I'm personally going to stick with the pinky right now. I don't want to. I don't want to. Disturb people. It's still kind of morning. A lot of people here like to sleep until noon.
It's kind of trippy, like how much
So
force you actually can get with it. Like with just like
yeah,
my pointer, I can just like, you know.
yeah, yeah. And well, that's the next level. You remove the sandbag and you just do your pinky training on the mukjang.
Gosh.
In fact, how's this? You do the entire mukjang with your pinkies.
Bonza, like,
Like
yeah.
I- I'm thinking maybe even just a desktop mukjang about this big, right? And you do the whole thing, kind of like skating, right? When you do a finger skating,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think we need a mukjang to do that with work our pinkies on the mukjang. Coming up with some big ideas there. Don't get. I'm glad nobody's here to right now. Everybody just left, so they
We're talking about.
and then everybody leaves, and I drop the desktop mukjang concept. Trademark, copyrighted, sifuz.com. Yeah.
Mook junk.
USB. You can even USB and like it will appear on your screen like you're standing there doing the mukjang. But you just you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Zeigler 8 program that I'm working on, that is just nutty because I'm trying to bring it to the next level where you can interact with the avatar. It's the tricky one. You can make AI videos and altered videos all day long, but until you start making that avatar interact, yeah, you ain't really got nothing. You ain't
Mm,
got nothing that somebody can't do on their social medias right now.
mm.
So that's and the race is on because eventually, like, functionality, like right now everybody has this functionality. Well, if they've been doing the internet long enough, they understand that the way of the internet is once they figure stuff out, they start taking functionality away and putting it behind a paywall, right? Yeah. uh, oh yeah.
For a variety of things that would just expedite our technological advancement. All the data is set up behind paywalls, so we have a whole bunch of people doing the same exact research and coming to the same conclusion without being able to communicate that to like move on. So because there's a paywall, and there's trillions of dollars in data in like data sharing and stuff like that that is just not being used because it's being selfishly or greedily, I should say, applied to specific companies of not wanting to share data. It's like, yeah, it's kind of silly. I come across the problem in my geoscience researches.
Paywall, especially if you're younger, that's just kind of the way things are. But if you don't have to be that old to see that especially when something new comes out, you get the function out. I mean, it's the model now. It's like, well, you'll be able to use the whole thing, but then the functionality gets taken away, then you have to pay. So then you pay, then they need to get more money out of you and fleece you for more. So then they start, charging you for the submit button. What? They charge you to insert HTML code. You're going to charge me to write my own code now? Are you out of your minds? So, but yeah, there are a lot of situations where the paywall isn't actually in cash, but it's in time. So that paywall is actually behind a whole bunch of things and hidden menus and stuff. Why? And so that way you're there on that site because you just being on a site is money, right? For them, that's money, So the longer they keep you on that site, the better. Like Facebook is notorious for this. Try to deactivate your account, put a timer on it. Yeah, for me, it was 3 months. It was crazy, crazy because you being on the platform, whenever you can't do something on a platform because the menus or so, it's complicated. No, it's not complicated. Nothing is complicated. It's very stupid, simple, actually. All this stuff is stupid, simple, just like money. You don't have to be smart to make money. It's best if you're kind of stupid, right? Like dumb. I think dumb is a better word, you know? Yeah.
Think I'm dumb. I think I'm maybe just happy. Oh yeah.
So, so all right. I think we're actually coming up on like a full 10 minutes of pinky training. Yeah, yeah. Now I can already feel my pinkies being a little sore, so it's probably a good idea to rub it out, so to speak. Rub out your pinkies now. I think if we rub out our pinkies online, put our pinkies real close to the camera and rub them out, right? I think that would really excite the algorithms. You already rubbed it out altogether. Yeah. Um, all right, folks. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe. I don't even know what we're at, but we're trying to get to what was the number again? 140 million is what we're trying to get to. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be part of the legacy, the Wing Chun legacy. All right, and yeah, let's go on over and we're gonna do a little Moochung. Let's go through the system actually, and just make sure that even after we've done it at least 10,000 hours worth of form, let's do 10,001 no, 1 hours, 10,000.5 hours uh, of doing form. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. We usually do this every Friday, Pacific, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Salutations.